Get ready to dive into the exciting world of video content creation. Welcome, Lee. So glad to have you here. Regarding your topic that is craft a signature talk that gets you noticed, what would you say are the key elements to include in a signature talk to make it truly captivating? And will it work for virtual as well?
Absolutely will work for virtual. And if you create a signature talk that's yours, it means that you have a confidence to be able to roll it out anywhere and everywhere. So whether you're on a podcast, in a summit, guest speaker within a membership, it's something that you can reuse. And the thing that we always have is us. The unique thing that we have is ourselves, our personality, our mannerisms, our accent. So I think the things that you really need to include is you need to share your unique expertise and your personal experiences because nobody will have the same experience that you've had. So for me, although I've been in and around the media a long time, I only started to be in front of the camera a couple of years ago because
Oh,
I'm so introverted. I was always behind the
yeah.
scenes.
What,
And
what
it's
did
only
you do behind the scenes?
I was a video editor and an audio editor. So I work with video and
Oh,
with radio.
wow.
So it's through telling your story that you're able to connect with people. So statistics are great, but stories are the things that really connect you to people. I think you also need to have a clear and compelling message as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say to people, your audience are waiting for your message. So as a way to get more confident and to get over yourself is to say, actually you do them a disservice by not putting your message out there. So definitely a clear and compelling message. Also to use storytelling because it makes an emotional connection with people, which is really important as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think facts and statistics are important too because it really backs everything else up. So it gives you a balance then between the stories, between the emotion, but actually facts and statistics too. And then
Just a little
definitely,
peppering of that to make
sorry,
it in, just a little peppering of the facts to really go, whoa, wow, yeah,
I think so, yes,
yeah.
because you want to position yourself as an authority. That's what creating a signature talk is about, is being that authority figure.
Hmm.
So the statistics and the facts really kind of back up everything else with it. And then I think it's important to give people actionable takeaways as well. So tell the audience what you want them to do. Do you want them to sign up? Do you want them to go for your newsletter?
Hmm.
Give them a clear call to action that's there too.
Right. What? Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. What are some of the common pitfalls to avoid when designing and delivering a signature talk? Especially, when you're having to do it for video.
Make sure that what you do is interesting. I think you need to really practice it and to actually have a clear strategy, a clear format, and then to practice it and re-practice it until you get to a stage where you're so comfortable with it that it just works. I think if you're nervous, it comes across, people will feel
Hmm.
that. I think sometimes if we don't practice and we don't have a format, you can end up surfing off at a tangent that's really not helpful. And I know I'm really good at that. I'm very good at surfing tangents and disappearing down rabbit holes. So actually having that format and that structure there is important too.
Structure. Yeah. Can you provide some practical tips on how to effectively engage your target audience? Make your
Yeah,
signature talk interactive.
absolutely. So the first thing you have to do is capture your audience's attention. So you need a hook. You need to have something that says, I'm worth listening to. Give me more than 7 seconds because, of course, people's attention spans got much shorter over time. So I think it's actually down as low as maybe 3 seconds now that you have to capture the audience's attention. So you need to do something that makes them go, oh, I want to watch the rest of this. So have that hook that's there. It's fine to use humor. You do have to be a little bit careful because you can have cultural differences.
Mm,
So, being in Scotland, we have language, we have words that you wouldn't understand because they are for this area.
mm,
And sometimes the humor can be a little bit like that as well. So you need to be careful, but do do show the humorous side of yourself as well. Anecdotes definitely make a big difference. So if I tell the story about the first podcast I was ever a guest on, absolutely terrified, only found out when I started on screen that it was being live streamed at the same time. About 20 minutes in, I could see a bra folded up on a radiator behind me. Now, I knew what it was, but nobody else did.
Oh,
But I was mortified. So,
oh my
anecdotes like
gosh.
that connect people because there's like that Schadenfreude element as
Yeah.
well. But yeah,
As far as, some of that, and working with trying to engage people when you're on Zoom, do you have some little tips or techniques with that?
I think if you're doing something that's live, you can ask questions because you can have a live chat there. You can put polls out there as well. You can ask for participation. You can ask for feedback. It's a little bit more difficult if it's something then that's pre-recorded and goes out. But even
Right.
with that, you can ask people to comment and then go back in and answer the comments and the questions that's there. So even out of time, you can still put interactive elements. And people like to make that connection. They like to be seen and be heard and have their questions answered.
Now, that's why we're doing our Facebook group where, the participants of this can go in and ask questions. And that Facebook group is called, Cutting Edge Video Solutions Community. So, yeah, we're encouraging them to go to that and including the speakers. So, yeah. How do you recommend leveraging various online platforms, networking opportunities to promote your signature talk and grow your personal brand? It's such a, important thing to do.
I think by thinking outside the box a little bit and thinking, where can I put that out? So you can have it on your YouTube channel, you can have it on your website, you can develop it into a webinar that you get people to sign up for, but you can also be on podcasts. You can take your talk and redevelop it so it fits different situations. And there's so many places where you can actually be a guest, but you have to be open to do that. And it's a learning curve as well. So you would start off with podcasts that are maybe not particularly popular, but then it's about learning the craft and learning to just relax into it. And so you'll find more opportunities open up over time that you're able to access.
Okay. Well, that is so awesome. Um, how do you measure the success of your signature talk?
I
And
think it depends on what call to action it is that you have with it, because if you know that your signature talk is there to build your email list, and that's what your call to action is to sign up for my email list to get the latest news, then you are able to say, well, actually, my email list is growing. If it's so you can give away a lead magnet, then you'll see that more people are actually enrolling in it. So it depends on what the call to action is. But that's one of the reasons why the call to action is so important. So it gives you something measurable, because then if it isn't progressing the way that you want it to progress, you can always tweak things, you can always change it, you can always iterate, because it's always progressing and moving on over time anyway.
and what kind of steps do you take to kind of continuously improve, your talk over time? Are there just kind of little improvements, or just try something new? What do you have any
It,
recommendations?
I think it depends. I think it's great to get other people to watch it and listen to it to start off with. And I think you should watch it and listen to it yourself. And I know there's this huge, big cringe factor. We all have it. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice. But if you actually watch it back yourself, then once you get over the cringe element, you're actually able to constructively say, oh, actually, do you know, I don't like the way that went through. I think I'd want to change that. And then if you've got some business besties that you can get to watch it as well, that's really helpful because they can give you that constructive criticism. But then if you're a guest for somebody, there's no reason why you can't say to the person that is your host for that, can you give me a testimonial? Can you give me any ideas for improvement? Is there anything you would change? What did you like? So you make it so it's what do you like, but then also what would you change as well. So always ask for the feedback.
Getting feedback. Yes. And listening and watching yourself. That is quite a challenge, but so helpful to actually improve. What would be
Yeah.
some key elements that you really want to make sure that you get into your talk that just would make such a difference?
I think it's what we said about originally. It's having the stories, it's having the anecdotes, it's
Mm,
having the facts that back it up, but it's the things that
okay.
make you you. Because marketing is about like, know, and trust. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're in person, then you're able to have a conversation that's very three-dimensional. And with video, it's not, it's only two-dimensional. So we have to rely on other things to make it so it works. And the stories are the things
Mm-hmm.
that connect you. But then being uniquely yourself, but like I say, with your mannerisms and with the accent and everything else, is the thing then that really connects people. But like when I say about being from Scotland, it's amazing the number of people that have connections to Scotland whose ancestry is Scottish, or
Oh,
it's somewhere they've been or somewhere that they would love to go. That 9 times out of 10, people always have some form of a connection to Scotland. So it's a point of connection. So telling that story is a point of connection. If I say about having 3 kids that are on the autistic spectrum, that's a
mm,
point of connection. So that's what the stories do, is connect you to the people that's out there.
right. And do you have a story? I would love to hear a little bit of a story about your transferring from behind the camera to in front of the camera, and what was that like for you?
It was very traumatic. What happened was we went into lockdown in 2020
Yes.
and I have 2 businesses. So I have IT Central, which is a computer repair shop.
Oh,
Now, women in IT is fairly rare. Less than 40% of IT jobs are taken by women, less than 9% technical. And I
wow.
own an IT business. So there would be less than 9% do what I do. And we weren't able to operate in a standard manner. So I had to show up for my business, which, as somebody that had already always been behind the scenes, was a big deal. There's no photographs of me from being a teenager through adulthood because that's how camera shy I am.
Oh,
And I decided that I needed to show up for my business. So I thought, I'll do Facebook Lives. And I did 2, and they were awful. I
yeah.
was wooden. I was monotone. I was bright red. My hands were sweating. I was getting palpitations. And after the second one, I thought, this is ridiculous. So I thought, do you know what? Go big or go home. So I decided to do 30 days of Facebook Lives
Wow.
back to back. And what happened after about day 3 or 4, I just relaxed into it. I stopped trying to make it perfect and I would just go for it to get through it. And it really broke the fear element, I think. And so by the end of the 30 days, I was completely different than I was at the beginning. So that then started this journey of saying, okay, how do I get to be confident on camera? And that's where the Video Production Academy came from. Because
Oh.
I was able to study online for the first time, I found that there were so many people, mainly women, saying, I can't do that because I can't be on camera. I can't do the technical side of things. I can't afford the fancy equipment. And
Mm-hmm.
so we felt that there was a real need there to get it so that people know they can make videos. It doesn't have to cost them anything. You'll be great on camera, just be you. And you can do a lot of things that mean it doesn't need to be particularly technical. So that was my journey into it to where we are now.
And who are mainly your target market for your academy?
People like me. They always say when you set up a
And
business, you are your own
me.
customer. What I
Okay.
tend to find is it's women, somebody, because midlife sounds terrible, but it's women of a certain age. It tends to be women over the age of 35 that really do struggle with the idea of seeing themselves on camera, really struggle with the idea of the technical aspects of things.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to be the people I work with, although we've got some guys in the membership as well. So it is a little bit of a mix, but it does tend to be more women. I think men are maybe a little bit more gung-ho with it and will just
Uh,
go for it, whereas women are a lot more risk averse.
do you have a parting message for us?
I would love to encourage people to have a go at creating a signature talk and just see
Mm,
what impact it can have on your business, because it will be positive and it will give you so much more confidence when you get to be a guest speaker elsewhere, that
yeah.
you will see how it can have a positive impact in your business. Positive impact means more leads, it means more money down the line. So go for it, get out of your comfort zone, you'll be great.
If you got benefit from this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that bell notification so you know when our next video comes out, and we'd love to hear comments from you. So comment below. Thanks.
Yep, thank you.